Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I am Dave,
I'm Katie.
and you are listening to uh, our Survivor Recap podcast. I forgot what we were
What
talking
are
about
you listening
today.
to?
Yeah, Katie, we're missing the debate right now.
Yeah, that's how I prefer it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I think one debate is enough. I don't think we need like multiple debates, you
Yeah, and
know.
they're like so close together. It's like, oh, can we just, give it a rest? But this is
Yeah,
the last one. This is the last one, so it's fine.
yeah, it's especially this election. I mean, any other election, maybe I'd want more debates, but this one, not so much.
No, you don't want more debates because they're not honest anyway. You
Yeah,
know,
it's do you really learn that much to
you
change
learn
your
what they
mind?
want you to believe, but beyond that, you don't learn
Yeah, true. Anyways, though, you are listening to our weekly Survivor recap podcast in which we
much.
break down the latest episode of Survivor. And this was episode 5 of Millennials versus Gen X. And do you know the title, Katie? I don't know.
I think it was called Idol Search Party, which just
Idle
said right at
search
the
party.
beginning, or not right at the beginning, but
Yeah,
before
so
the credits.
that refers to the Gen X tribe just openly looking for the idol, kind of almost as a tribe, but you know,
Yeah, which
uh,
was smart because they must have known a swap was coming and that if there was an idol, better
yeah.
find it quick.
So if Dave knew a swap was coming, why did he play his idol last time
Because
to
he
save
knew he
Jen?
was gonna just go right out and find another one.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder as a super fan if he's like thinking of himself as the next Russell Hantz. He's like, I'm just gonna keep finding these things, you know?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, he had a 1 in 7 chance and he had a huge advantage because he knew how they were hidden. It's like
Hmm.
at the end, when they have those challenges where you get an advantage and you get to like practice. I feel like
Yeah,
that's what he had for finding the idol. And that person usually wins. And David found the idol. I mean, obviously
yeah,
he was going to find it. So
yeah.
I
No,
wasn't surprised by it.
yeah, that's a really good point because I mean, Sunday is like looking right at it and she
Hmm.
doesn't find it, but
No.
David knows what to look for. So, yeah, not a problem
Yeah.
for him.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I was fine with it because he at least is entertaining with his idols. I mean, I don't think he makes good moves. However, tonight I think he did the wise thing. He had a chance to repeat exactly the move he made in the last tribal council, and
Yeah.
he chose not to. So,
Hmm.
I mean, at least he's thinking ahead a little bit this time. I'm not
Absolutely.
sure how much he was thinking ahead the last time. He even seemed to be double, double,
Double
second
dipping.
guessing it, double guessing it. That's not it. Second guessing
Second
it.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. He did mention in a confessional that he was considering playing the idol for Cece, right?
yeah, I mean, Jess maybe, but come on, you're gonna play two of your idols for Jess and Cece? Why?
Just to shake things up, I guess, and show people,
No.
hey, I'm in control of this game, I
I mean,
guess.
he obviously weighed the options, and I think the chance to get back in Chris's good graces was more meaningful to him than just keeping Cece around because Chris is a good person to have on your side. I don't know how good it is to have Cece on your side. She's just kind of looked at as kind of a tag along, it seems, because what does she bring to the table? Other than she seems like she's very nice to people, but I think that maybe now he has Chris, and maybe he can show Chris his idol, and they can build some real trust and not just the one-time tribal trust, and maybe they can actually have a partnership going forward.
Yeah. So why didn't everyone have more of an interest in voting Dave out? Like why isn't Dave more of a consideration? He did absolutely terrible in the challenge. He was friggin' kicking the ball off the
Yeah, that was
platform multiple
embarrassing.
times.
He
He couldn't
had
even
his
get
team
up on the
questioning.
platform.
He had his team questioning if he was throwing it. I was questioning whether or not he was throwing it. But
Yeah.
I think that Chris was driving things, even though I think Chris was in the middle and he was driving things and he saw the value in keeping David on his side and not any value in keeping Cece around.
Yeah,
And Dave seemed,
what's the difference? Why not keep Cece and vote Dave out?
I think maybe they both
I think
suck
he
at
just
challenges.
likes
Yeah.
Dave more than Cece,
I think
right?
he does like Dave, and he sees a benefit in keeping. He obviously can find idols. That's one thing. He is strategic, so maybe they can have like a weird partnership. Whereas Cece, I don't know how much strategy or anything she's bringing to the table.
Yeah. And I think
And
we did get a go ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say that David, I think Chris even mentioned this, didn't he? That David has connections over there. Like he has
Oh,
Ken, he has Jess. So I think he sees that as more valuable than Cece,
yeah,
who's just
he did say something about Dave having numbers, and I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but I think you're right. I think that's what he meant.
yeah.
And yeah, I think there was a time when, or in an earlier episode where Chris, it might have been episode 1 even, where Chris says, Dave's a weirdo and stuff, but I like him or something like that. He basically
Yeah.
said he Dave even though he's weird.
I feel like this episode brought together, it righted so many, like I was feeling so unstable about, okay, Adam, Zeke, Chris, all people I really liked. And now I feel like they're all like, they've got this new life in these weird partnerships that they found with each other. And I think it's amazing.
Yeah, real quick, who was Dave going to vote? If Dave plays his idol for CC, who was he going to vote out instead?
Michelle, because Michelle wanted David out.
Oh, yeah. So he just was feeling uneasy about that and just wanted to get
Mm-hmm.
rid of her instead.
Yeah, I couldn't tell at tribal council because he was really hitting the point hard that he wanted to prove his loyalty to Chris. And I was like, oh, usually they don't say what they mean at tribal council. But I was like, God, if he does this to Chris again, man, that's
He
really,
is about to
really,
get choked out on national television.
yeah, that's really a bad look. So I'm glad that he decided against it.
For sure. So yeah, you mentioned that some things have gone the way you wanted them to. Can you talk about the your dreams coming true tonight?
Well, we had the tribe swap. They combined, or they didn't combine, they merged. No, what did they do? They split off. They split into 3 different tribes.
Yep.
And you had the tribe with Taylor and Figgy, who ended up still together, which, excuse me while I vomit in the corner. Oh, they're so dumb. Like, I can't even, I just, I, ugh, no, please make them stop. But anyway, luckily we had Adam with them. Adam, who is all of us disgusted by their partnership and still having to be with them when all the other millennials get to be away from them. But Ken and him formed this little cute partnership that I thought was too good to be true. Like I can't even believe that those two would work together. And so I'm thrilled about that. What about you?
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome that Ken like kind of takes a liking to Adam. Like he says he's respectful.
Yeah,
You know,
he's a sweet boy.
yeah, he's a sweet boy, and I want to take him under my wing.
I think Ken has
And
a soft spot for nerdy little white boys who love
yeah,
Survivor.
absolutely, he seems to be drawn to that type of character. So that's interesting. But yeah, that's kind of what we like to see. I mean,
What's
maybe that's not.
handy is, unbeknownst to Ken, these people that he's drawn to usually have idols. So that's nice.
Yeah, yeah. Ken seems to be drawn to the idols as well. That's pretty cool. Good for
Works out
him.
well for him, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so what do you think about Figgy sort of shooting down Taylor?
It won't last.
Well, as we saw in the preview, it's not going to
Yeah,
last.
that's just, it's human nature. You're put in a new situation and you're on your guard at first, but they're going to feel comfortable, and they're cocky, beautiful millennials. So they're going to be like, it doesn't matter what we do. We have the numbers, which is stupid. Don't you think it's stupid for them to think Adam is automatically with them when he was not with them before? Like, why
Yeah,
would they think that?
it's quite presumptuous, but on the other hand, you're almost better off in that situation, feigning as much confidence as you can, like in the alliance. It might inspire confidence in Adam himself, just how
Right, but
confident they are. But at,
Taylor, even in his confessional, is like, yeah, we got the numbers then. It's like, no, you need to work a little bit harder at keeping that number 3, buddy.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you gotta do more with Adam. Like, you gotta talk more to Adam. Make sure he's locked in before you feel so confident that you guys are tight.
I think Taylor's on an like. I don't think he knows where he is. I
Yeah,
don't think he knows.
I'm not sure how much he knows the game of Survivor, like if he's watched it a
No,
lot. Because if he did, he would understand that people who don't know the game as well tend to assume that you automatically have the numbers if tribal lines always stay the same. Like no one ever jumps or anything. That tends
and
to be a
it's
very rookie mistake.
yeah, and he. I mean, maybe Adam's not showing what a fan he is, or maybe he hasn't talked about it that much. But if you have any brains at all, you gotta be look at Adam and be like, this guy could possibly see an advantage in leaving us because we're a twosome. Obviously, we're not going to pick Adam over anyone, over each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
How sure are you though that Adam would choose to side with Ken and Jess over Figgy and Taylor? Because I also see a strong pair with Ken and Jess, and it's a strong Gen
I,
X pair versus a strong millennial pair.
I think he sees them as more logical, non-romantic Gen Xers who, in our viewers' eyes, just became tight. Like we didn't know they were tight the whole time, whereas Figgy and Taylor were on each other from night one. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I just
Yeah.
think he probably sees them both as tight, but he also sees that he'll probably see that the Gen Xers are going to be more logical about things.
Mhm.
That's what
Do you
I would
think
assume
he's
anyway.
concerned in any way of how it looks if he sides with the Gen Xers and takes out Figgy and Taylor, like in the future when he ends up teaming
No,
with more
Michaela's
men
probably going to be like, "Thank you for doing that."
for getting rid of those assholes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, I
think
guess
she'd be
you're
the
right.
only one either.
Yeah. I think maybe that thought's going to cross Adam's mind, but yeah, I lean more towards him siding with Ken because it did seem like Ken came across well, and Adam seemed to like Ken as much as Ken liked Adam. So I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think he's
We'll
going to
see.
feel a genuine bond with Ken and not so like whereas I don't think Taylor has that. Or I don't know why I
Yeah.
was singled out Taylor, but maybe Figgy. No, I don't think they have a genuine bond with anyone but each other.
So what do you think of the relationship with Jess and Ken? Um is there any chance of that being romantic, or is
No,
that
I'm
just
pretty sure Jess is married with four
Oh, is she?
children.
Okay. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure. Ken is
No,
like Ken's divorced, right? Or something like that.
I think he just knocked up some girl and found
Oh,
out he had a
yeah, that's
baby
right.
later.
He found out he
Yeah.
had a kid.
He
That's
was
right.
all about the one night stands. Don't you remember his
Oh, yeah.
video?
Yeah, you're
No
right.
more one night stands for Ken.
Yeah.
No,
So,
I
yeah.
think girls are just drawn to him, whether
Yeah, no, well,
they're,
it seemed more like
yeah.
she felt bad about not believing him. She was
Hmm.
eternally grateful to Ken
Hmm.
for saving her ass. Well, he didn't save her ass, but
No, he
not
didn't. That's what I thought was strange is that she promised him the legacy after that when David's the one who saved her.
David's the one who saved her. But I mean, I guess people just don't like David that much.
I don't know what the read is on David. I mean, I'm
Well,
still
there's
confused
got to
on
be a
that.
bit of a I don't trust him. He's a weasel read.
Sure.
There
Oh,
has to
sure.
be. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think that's where she's coming from. She's like, maybe he did end up voting for me, but he did try to tell me what was going to happen, and he was
That's
right,
true.
and I didn't
That's
believe
true.
him. And
Hmm.
the other option is Dave, and screw Dave, the weasel
He
guy.
already has his own idols and advantages. He doesn't need help from her.
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a nice moment when she kind of, or they bonded, that night. So,
Yeah. Maybe having someone like Ken on her side will kind of, because he's calm most of the time, unless you're bossy to him.
mhm.
So maybe she'll calm down a little bit and stop with the paranoia. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, here's an interesting thought that just came to me. What if Adam decides, let's let's stick together, let's millennials stick together and vote out Jessica, and then the next time I get my chance, I can get Ken. Wait, because then I guess they wouldn't have the numbers to vote out. It would be a
No,
2-2 tie
he's
then.
got to
Yeah.
he's got to
Sorry.
decide now if they ever go to tribal, which I think is
Yeah.
possible
I
because
didn't do
that
my math right.
Ikabula seems like a pretty good tribe. But
Yeah.
um
I feel bad for my MVP Brett. He's
Oh yeah.
he's in a real bad spot
You
over
know
there.
though, he's on that good tribe.
It's
I
a
mean,
good
if they keep winning.
Yeah, hopefully they keep winning, but he didn't it didn't seem like he would have been he probably would have been gone if they lost. I don't know.
Who's he with? Don't you think they get rid of Sunday first?
Yeah, maybe they would have gone for Sunday first, but he doesn't seem to be fitting in too well with
Well,
like
this is
that's
the game.
yeah.
You
Go ahead.
have to, you get thrown in situations that don't always work out in your favor, unless I can't think of an example, but unless you're someone who just has an easy road, which does happen. But
Yep.
I think that this is where you prove, whether or not you're good at the game. And if you're in the minority and you can somehow find a crack, like Zeke and Michelle did tonight, then I mean, I feel like that happens more often than it doesn't, don't you? Because usually the people with the tribe that has the numbers, it's an amalgamation of people who there's, you know, fractures between them.
Getting sick of each other.
Right.
Yeah. Not if it's Australian Survivor.
Ugh. Is that over yet?
Almost. It's getting there. It's
Good
been on for
Lord.
about 2 years now.
Yeah, I think so.
No, just kidding. It moves pretty fast because they show like 3 episodes a week. So
Yet it takes them 2 hours to vote off one person.
yeah, I know, right? But anyways, yeah. As the game has evolved over the years, it more often than not cracks emerge and opportunities arise to
Well, yeah, let's look
switch
at
up the
who do
game.
you have. What millennials do you have over there? You have Michaela, Jay, Will, and
That's it.
who
Oh
else?
wait, no, it's 4 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or who is it?
Michaela, Jay,
Hannah over
Will.
there?
Who?
Hannah?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They could be like, screw Hannah.
Yeah, that could happen. I could definitely see that happening. But I
Or
mean,
Hannah
right,
could go over to Sunday and Brett, and they could pull one more person.
or Hannah could get medevaced.
I don't think. Usually, the person they show injured in the preview doesn't get medevaced. I would really love to go a season without a medevac. I would love it.
Yeah. I don't know. It looks like Hannah's just having more of a anxiety issue, and
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna end up being okay. That's my theory on it, but we'll
Oh
see.
yeah, I think she'll be fine.
Yeah. Um, got a little bit into predictions there. How'd that
Sorry.
happen?
Yeah. Hannah, that's all we saw of her this episode was in the preview for next week, really.
Yeah, she was pretty much non-existent. Well, this
Yeah.
episode was really big for Michaela.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's the best
she's the best
out of all of them.
that from the very beginning when they swapped and Michaela had that
That
look
girl
on her
cannot
face.
hide her emotions, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she's going to win just because of that,
hmm
but she's one of the most entertaining, if not the most.
Yeah. So
Definitely the most entertaining.
you
What?
don't think she's gonna win, but it does sure seem like if there's such a thing as a winner's edit, that like she has one going.
Oh,
Right?
tonight for sure. Yeah, definitely. Anyone they show start the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like a moment for them. And it seemed even more emotional for her than like it was for Zeke in the first episode. And
Yeah.
whoever got it in the second episode, I don't remember. But yeah, it seemed like a really big deal. And then I can't believe how good she was at that basketball challenge. I think she was better than Cliff Robinson and Scott Pollard
Yeah.
at that challenge. And she doesn't get paid to play basketball.
No, she was really good.
The thing
But
is, she's making a huge target of herself.
Yeah, everyone's taking notice of her challenge ability for sure.
Mm-hmm. But she
So-
crushes.
But yeah, I think she had like another winner's quote in this episode that I
That
forgot.
she wants to do it for her family, show her family.
When she started the fire and she cried and she said, "Yeah, I really want this for my family." It's like everybody probably says stuff like that at some point during the game, but they don't show it all the time. So you got to imagine Michaela's going far in the game, right?
Oh yeah, I think
I don't
see her. I don't. Her
you don't
tribe
think she'll
was
make
at,
the top 4?
Oh, I think she easily could, but I
Yeah.
don't know if. And if she does, I guess she could easily win her way to the end. So she could certainly win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
So she could be a winner.
what if they keep around a bunch of weak people like or I don't mean to call Zeke weak,
I don't
weak
think Zeke
Zeke,
is weak.
but I don't know how good he's going to be in challenges against Michaela.
Well, I don't think anyone's going to be good in challenges against Michaela.
Anybody. I mean, Ken would be good in challenges against Michaela.
That remains to be seen. She beat him
I
tonight.
Yeah, but I tend to think Ken could give her a run for her money.
Yeah, it depends on the challenge. But if it's shooting baskets, Michaela's going to win
But
every
yeah,
time.
let's say final four is Michaela, Zeke, Adam, and Dave. She's probably gonna whoop all their asses.
Yeah. But
Or
you
even
don't
like,
know.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe
Maybe
Adam's
she
a
sucks. Maybe it's like Malcolm. She doesn't have steady hands, and it comes down to something like that, and she can't pull that one out, and
Yeah,
then she's
no,
out.
that's exactly right. But yeah, definitely a big episode for her tonight, and lots of I'm trying really hard not to talk about winners edits, but it's
Edit, 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 edit.
sometimes it's so obvious, like that this character is going to have a
Well,
big
then,
story.
what would you say about Adam's little moment last week? Would you say he had a winner's edit last week when he found the idol?
I would say he's going far into the game because of that. Yeah.
See, I just don't know. It sucks that we predict who's going far on the game based on those moments rather than how they're playing the game. Like, I have to see Michaela do something strategically because so far I haven't. So until
That's
I see that, she hasn't needed to, but until I see that happen, then I'll see. We'll all see what kind of player Michaela really is.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, they don't always have to use those moments as foreshadowing for how the game is going to turn out. It can just
Mm-hmm.
be like good character moments that people will relate to and enjoy watching. So, yeah,
Yeah,
that's another reason to put that stuff in there. It's not just to like tell the story.
yeah,
But I think with the whole edit thing, you can sort of start to rule some people out though, I think, like as
Hannah.
yeah. Probably Hannah, yeah.
Who else would you rule out?
I don't know.
Taylor and
I'm
Figgy.
starting
Taylor
to
and
rule
Figgy
out
for
Brett.
sure.
I'm starting to rule out
Oh,
Brett because he doesn't get any he doesn't have any hero moments or
yet.
you know or any confessionals of like serious insight on how he feels about something.
That's true.
Yeah, we aren't getting
He
much character out of Brett.
was he
So
your winner pick? No, Chris was
yeah,
your. Yeah.
no, Brett's my winner pick.
Oh, okay.
But I was kind of just trying to be different.
Different. Yeah. No, I know. Well,
Yeah.
when you pick someone with a Boston accent, you're pretty. I mean,
Yeah, I
odds are pretty
figured my
good. Yeah.
chances were good, so
And
I
there's
went for it.
no maybe someone like Michaela and Adam. They've already had a lot of story. Who's to say they're not going to get voted out? First merge boots, and then
Yeah.
Brett's story will evolve later on when there's fewer people around.
Yeah, that can certainly happen. It's not like that's never happened before. I mean, you kind of give us a little taste of, hey, this person exists, and then
Mm-hmm.
they get more story later on. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can never rule anybody out really,
Mm-mm.
except
No,
Hannah.
except Hannah. I'm definitely ruling Taylor and Figgy out. No
Yeah,
question.
no chance.
No chance.
You don't think anyone
You
would
heard it
take
here
Taylor
first.
as a goat?
No,
No, you really don't think so?
because he could win. Well,
But could he win the money? Could he win the $1 million?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Depends on who he's sitting with at the end. If it's Taylor and Figgy, I'm not going to watch, but he could win.
Yeah.
I'll still
So
watch, but
Catie, I actually kind of missed, like, I didn't quite catch a lot of the scramble. I hate to put you on the spot, but could you fill me in at all on how the scramble went down before the tribal council, or are you as sketch on that as I am?
let me see. Yeah, at first they were all talking like it was going to be Michelle because they said Zeke is good. And so that's what they said on the surface when Cece was around. And then Chris went to talk to David and said, look, you and I need to hash things out because he's like we talked about earlier, he sees the value of keeping David on his side rather than like completely alienating him, which I thought was really smart because he could have just voted out Cece and not told David, but instead he went to David and was like, this is what's happening. This is why it's happening. and I want you on my side. And he was down with it. And he was willing to prove his loyalty to Chris again after what had happened before.
Yeah.
And then Michelle got this hair up her ass that they needed to get David out, even though the name wasn't her, she wanted to flip the vote to David.
Yeah,
which I thought was a little bit not great. She should have just left it.
I kind of get it, because I'm wondering, like, as somebody just surface level watching that challenge, like, why isn't anyone talking about voting Dave out? He really sucks. Like, he's a huge liability to the tribe.
I think that most of the tribe was willing to go along with what Chris said, because Zeke was obviously under Chris's spell. David was ready to go back with Chris, but Michelle, I think, just likes to. I mean, the first time when they got Mari out, we were like, "Ooh, look at Michelle," but I think she's a hipster. She just likes to be different, and she wanted to get David out. Her reasoning had nothing to do with that he's sneaky. It was just that he sucks in challenges. But you can say exact same about Cece.
Do you think she's a Survivor fan?
Michelle?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think she's on the level of Zeke or Will or Adam.
No, but I think I tend to think she is, and she's the type of person that's like you said, she's got to be a hipster, and she's always got to it's always got to be, every vote's got to be her idea. Like she's playing the game all the time and not even taking into account those times in the game when you got to lay back and let people get voted out,
Even at tribal council, when she voted out Cece, she was like, I think we should get out David. And it's like, you're voting out Cece, why do you want to put yourself at odds with someone who's sticking around?
Yeah. But, one could argue that she's in a bad position now. So maybe that was her only chance to try to get leverage, get the power. If she could just get the power right away and get people voting her way, she'd be in a power position. Whereas now she's kind of like the next vote, basically. So
is she though? Because David, I don't know if Chris would rather, but it looked like he put in work to make something with David. So why would he just get rid of him in the next vote?
Who else did they get rid of? He's with Zeke and David. There's only one other person, Michelle.
Yeah, but I thought he was with Zeke and Michelle. Maybe that was never.
I thought he was with Zeke and David.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, he would have had Zeke and Michelle. That's why I didn't understand why he even needed David, and why I thought it was smart for him to go talk to David. But now that I think about it, Zeke and Michelle were not on the same side at the Millennials. So maybe Michelle, you're right. Maybe Michelle's next.
I think she's on the bottom. That's just me. But
man, girls
they should get rid of Dave. He's terrible in challenges.
Oh my God, he's so bad.
And he's a weasel.
Bro should have done some push-ups or something before I went out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're getting rid of all the girls and the minorities. Yeah. No white girl has gone home yet. It's been all the women of color.
This is the season of white male privilege, I guess.
I guess, yeah. There's no men of color.
That's unfortunate.
They're pretty white. All those dudes are pretty white.
Bunch of white dudes.
Are there any? You still have Michaela. She's literally the only minority left, I think.
So Ooh. I don't know. I tend to kind of root for Michaela at this point.
Well, I think everybody is.
But I love Zeke so much,
Yeah. Zeke, Michaela. Yeah, they're the best. I like Adam. I like Ken. I like the weaseliness of David. I really like this cast. There's not a lot of people I don't like. Unfortunately, Taylor and Figgy are still there.
Cece, Cece was kind of drawing dead, as they say sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So not such a big deal to lose her.
No, you're right. I can't believe she lasted this long.
Yeah.
But oh well. I wasn't sad to lose her. It was an entertaining episode. She was blindsided. She was pissed too. Some people handle it well, but she was mad.
I didn't catch that. I must have stopped watching right when she got voted out.
I mean, she said good luck, guys, but you could tell she was mad. And at the end, when they had her final words, she was like, I think it was the dumbest mistake they ever made. And I was like, girl, I don't think I'd flatter yourself and say that. That was the dumbest mistake.
If you got voted out? If you got blindsided, would you be mad?
Yeah, I'd probably be a bitch. Yeah.
I would probably cry.
I don't react well to things like that.
I would
I could
cry.
never be the kind of person who looks back and is like, good luck, guys. I love you all. No, that's not me.
Yeah.
I'd be bitter as hell.
Yeah, me too. Um, I don't know. I think I've run through my notes. Do you have anything you want to touch on?
Yeah. Do you think there was any? Do you have any problem with the tribe numbers being uneven? I mean, I know they had more work to do at the Ikabula beach, but they got more numbers now. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, so it's like a 6-5-4 tribe split up right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the fact that they were disadvantaged in the beach situation kind of makes up for it. I kind of lean that way.
But once the
Cuz
merge happens in like 2 or 3 votes, well, maybe more than that.
but it's just so unlikely that those guys are going to be like, "All right guys, we're all sticking together." And they'll maybe say that, but it's never going to happen.
Yeah, I suppose that's
That
true.
sticking together is, I don't know. I can't see it. Cannot see it. But you
Yeah,
never
I
know.
don't know.
You never know. I mean, that's kind of the idea of why you do these swaps in the first place, is to form new tribal lines and
Mhm.
hope that shakes things up. But I just don't see those guys sticking together.
Who's that? Like Michaela's person? Does she have like one person she can count on?
That's a good question. I think she really does seem like an individual at this point in the game, but I'm guessing she gets along well with like Zeke or
Yeah. Adam,
um
she seemed to have a bond with.
Adam and Zeke. She seems to get along with. I'm
But she's
sure
out
she.
there with Will and Jay and Hannah. Her and Hannah, I think actually.
I bet she gets along okay with Hannah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who's gonna have her back, or if they're gonna be like, look, we need to get at Michaela because she's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I don't see that happening until merge time
Right.
because
So do you think they'll go back to 2 again and then they'll merge? So we have a ways to go here.
um I guess with such small tribes, you could end up with another swap before the merge, but I kind of hope things get so even that you can just ride it out
They're
until,
already like super uneven though.
well, all it takes is the sixth tribe losing twice in a row. You're down to 4-4-5, and that's 13. And
They got,
then
I don't know. I don't see them losing unless the food
yeah,
situation becomes an issue. I mean, they
'cause you
could.
got
Yeah, they
you
could.
got to sit people out too. I mean, maybe they don't plan their sit outs properly, and you got
Mm-hmm.
some scrubs in, and
Mm-hmm.
you lose. You
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
So I'd kind of like to see things like even out, and they just ride this three tribe thing to the merge.
I don't
Um,
think that's ever happened though.
um, yeah, I
Did
guess.
they do that in All Stars? Did they go from 3 to the merge in All Stars?
I can't remember honestly. I
Yeah, that was
feel
literally like a lifetime ago, and I
as
haven't
far as like
rewatched
a
it.
Survivor rewatch, the last season I've got to was All Stars, and I was about 4 episodes deep into it, and I just haven't had time to keep that train rolling. So
Yeah, once Rob goes, like, why? Why watch,
yeah,
right?
yeah, poor Rob C.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, the other Rob did pretty well.
Yeah, he did okay in that season.
Got a wife and
$1 million. Somebody did.
her $1 million. He
Yeah.
got a million eventually, so worked
So
out.
yeah.
Yeah, oh, there was something else. Oh, what do you think of the Chris and Zeke partnership? Another dream that came true that I was very
Oh,
happy
Chris
about.
and Zeke. Yeah. Yeah, that was the ideal situation, right? Apparently that Zeke was a big fan of like the Oklahoma college football
Yeah.
team, and it
Mm-hmm.
turns out that Chris played on the championship 2000 team, so they had this like weird connection right off the bat. Do
Yeah,
you
they
think
thought,
any way casting can put those two things together just from interviewing them, that this is a potential
um,
bond
I'm
that
sure that someone spotted the connection
you
and
think so?
maybe, but I don't know if it would have been a driving force in casting either of them. But I
Right.
think maybe they were like, oh, that's cool. I wonder if they'll like
Like
recognize each
what
other.
if that pans out? And it did.
Yeah, because that in all the interview stuff that they do, I'm sure Zeke mentioned it, and you know Chris mentioned that he won a national championship with a football team. So I'm sure someone somewhere along the line was aware,
Yeah, I'm sure there's
but I don't think it was like
little
this.
serendipity. Yeah, no, yeah, it wasn't like, oh, we definitely got to cast both these guys in the same season because of this connection. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
I
they
feel better
probably.
about Chris now. Like I was worried about him. He kept getting like bamboozled, and I guess
Yeah,
right up until the end of this episode, I was worried it was going to happen again. But I feel
no,
better about his chances
he's
now.
got like a lot of control now.
Mm-hmm.
The question is, can he like just get? Can he just manhandle this thing, take complete control, so he's really running things by the time the merge hits, and he's sitting
Is that what
pretty.
you want to do though? Do you want to manhandle control? I guess in a small
Like
tribe
in a
situation.
in a man behind the curtain sort of way. That's what I mean.
Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Can he get himself in a powerful position where people just sort of like a maybe a Jeremy Collins scenario where they're like,
Mm,
I like working with this dude, and they're not
yeah.
thinking how good of a competitor he is.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't even
yeah, I guess
remember.
people can tell he's a challenge threat already. So I think it's going to be tough for him to hide when the merge comes, no matter what.
Yeah, that's true.
So his only option is really to have really strong bonds or at least one solid alliance. Maybe the tribe he's with now, they're down to 4. Maybe those 4 can like start winning and maybe they're like a strong 4 when the merge comes or something.
Well, they still have David, so I wouldn't
Yeah.
say they're strong in challenges.
Yeah, because
But
David
if they can
has
throw him on a puzzle, but Michelle's really good at puzzles, so I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, David has no allegiance to anyone, so he's not the best alliance member.
No. He's a good alliance member, maybe. No, I don't think he's ever a good alliance member. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll see how he does in season 34.
You're really convinced that he's going on season 34,
I'm
aren't you?
convinced, especially after he found another idol. I mean, come on.
It's Hancian, is what it is.
Yeah, who else on this season could possibly be? I mean,
I
maybe
can think of a lot.
yeah, Michaela, Chris.
Michaela, Zeke, Chris.
I think Zeke's already he's got it. I personally think Zeke has got it locked down for
You know,
season.
that's what I thought, but I feel like Zeke must have, I mean, not to read the edit again, but I
Yeah.
feel like Zeke, he must go far because so far, the little glimpses of Zeke haven't been huge. It's just been a little
No.
bit here and there.
Yeah. Yep. They're setting him up with a little bit of story, but it's
Yeah.
giving it to us slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he'll be around for a while.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see his game unfold because I feel like he hasn't had the chance to really like let loose and play yet because he's been on the bottom. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun to see how it pans out for him.
Yeah, I really hope he makes the merge because yeah, I'd like to see how he handles himself in a when he has to play the game.
The
for
real game. Like they always say the real game begins at the merge, and that's when I'm excited to see him play. A lot of those guys, like Will, like we've barely seen him either.
Yeah. I don't yeah, I'm not really sure how much that we can expect much out of Will for gameplay, but I think he
Yeah,
will
I feel
make
like
the
we
merge.
just haven't seen enough. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he'll make the merge, but I don't know if we'll see him go nuts or anything.
Nah,
Yeah.
probably not.
Anyways, anything else you want to touch on?
Um,
Mm, eh.
is that like when you're like dating a girl, do you like whisper to her that do you say you're hot? Like when she's standing far away? Because that was like creepy, I
Yeah,
thought.
that's the millennial thing. That's the millennial mating call.
Oh my
It's
God,
yeah, it's
that was
you're hot.
embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta wonder how Figgy is really feeling about this guy. I almost feel like she's a little above this. This guy. He-
He seems a little simple.
yeah, he's simple. And I think Figgy, she's owning her sexuality and she sees Taylor as a boy toy. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's hard for me to tell if she's really into it
She likes his
Or
blue eyes, and that's it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
like if it were me, I mean, I feel like there's just so many better options out there. Even in
I,
this game, like why Taylor?
yeah, I don't think anything serious is gonna happen
No,
there.
no,
I think
certainly not.
she's gonna develop a crush on Ken.
Oh boy.
Oh, that would be trouble.
Triangle. The Triforce just shatters. It's already shattered, but
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. But it's clear that Figgy is wearing the pants in the relationship.
I guess we never really touched on this. What did you think of Jay and his comments about like the Gen X people? Like he was really coming after Brett and Sunday about like
Mhm.
how lazy they were, or how
Yeah.
how incompetent they were, more so.
Yeah.
Do you think
Um, I
like
mean,
he's onto something about them as
I
representatives of Gen X?
well, I liked how he was basically saying, the Gen X thing means nothing because I'm the one doing all the work and these guys aren't doing anything.
Yeah,
And I'm
he's
like,
like
well, yeah, they're older. They're tired. Just let them chill out for a minute.
yeah, yeah. And honestly, I think Brett knows better than to step up and be
Yes,
big
exactly.
boss man. He's probably just like he's playing that sort of game where he's like, yeah, you go ahead and tell everyone what to do. I'll just
Yeah,
back and try to do what you say, you know?
I like Jay more than I thought I would, but he has first merge boot written all over him.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
kind of behavior is not going to help that.
Yeah, he's very aggressive and he wears his heart on his sleeve.
Hmm.
Just kind of goes for it, whatever. He is himself and nothing but. And
Right.
yeah, so
And
that's
he's
not
good at
good.
challenges and he's well liked and he's kind of in control wherever he's been so far. So I don't know. I'd watch out for him
Yeah,
once they
he's
merge.
very alpha, and
Yeah.
guys like that can really get control pretty fast. And
Hmm.
but yeah, problem is in Survivor, people notice that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, most people.
Yes, unless you're with Tom Westman, unless you're playing with him, then people just let
And
it
he just
slide.
wins.
Yeah,
Well, the first time.
yeah. What happened with him? He got pretty far in Heroes Villains, didn't he?
No, no, no,
No.
no.
Oh no,
I
he did.
think he was voted out pretty early.
Oh, okay, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
People found him to be a threat.
Well, yeah. Actually, I think he'd slowed down quite a bit. It'd been
Yeah.
10 seasons. Yeah.
Geez, yeah, 5 years and he was already gray and Palau. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Gotten a little soft. Gotten a little soft.
Yes, indeed.
You know who should come back, and I always say it, but he never will, is Ian. He's still one of
Yeah.
my favorite survivors of all time.
Oh
And
yeah.
he gets such a bad rap for his move and pull out. But God, I loved him so much, and I want him to come back. If you're out there,
Yeah.
Ian,
It
please
was
come back.
one brutal mistake, but I mean,
But
yeah,
it was his heart. He had
yeah,
too good of a heart.
yeah. Him and Eric Reichenbach can talk all day about that.
Yeah, we saw Reichenbach again. I'm done with him, but I need
Yeah.
Ian to come back.
Yeah, no, they should bring both of them back for a theme season, like
And JT.
Battle of the Nice Guys.
JT too, because he's a nice guy who made a dumb move the
Yeah,
second
that's
time
true.
around.
Yeah, his Russell mistake.
They can be like the season where they had the three evacuees with Penner, Scoopin, and that other Russell guy who ended up
Yeah,
sucking.
Philippines,
Yeah, there you go.
Russell
The
Swan.
theme though could be like nice guys finish last
And they
or
all
something.
finished last. Yeah, they all get
Well,
voted
yeah,
out anyway.
they all about to be funny.
Yeah,
But anyway,
for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. Ian, come back, man.
please come back.
We're fans.
No one talks about him enough. I mean, they mentioned dumb moves, but Ian was really good, and
He
I
never
want to see him
gets
play again.
yeah, he never gets brought up. He played a good he just kind of had a good social game. Him and he played
And
the
he was
same
awesome at challenges.
yeah, he played the same kind of game as Tom, and it's funny that they both had so much success playing the same kind of game in this
Mhm.
on the same tribe in the same season, you
Yeah, it's
know.
too bad they had to be on the same season because they'd been
Because
on different seasons. Maybe Ian would have been the Tom of that season.
yeah, I can't believe he did what he did.
Yeah, still, it hurts. It hurts. You
Yeah, it
don't
was
have
dumb.
challenges like that anymore either, where they're on the thing for 13 hours. I mean, come on. The longest they ever last anymore is like 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah, well, nobody wants that.
Well, nobody doing it wants it, but I want it on my TV.
Really? Do you really want to watch people stand on the platform for 13 hours?
Yeah, it's hugely impressive.
Yeah, I guess it's impressive, but
But you're not going to have Tom and Ian type people often
yeah,
at the end together.
yeah, probably not.
So,
No, you're probably gonna have a couple goats and a winner.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
New school.
Although, I mean, last season, going into the final tribal, you could have seen things go for any of those guys depending on how the jury felt.
Yeah, but none of them are particularly like good at physical challenges.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, if you had, well, a friggin' Ty was pretty much a beast at physical challenges.
Yeah, I guess
Aubrey
that's
was pretty good at endurance
yeah,
challenges.
but they weren't Tom and Ian level
Michelle was probably the weakest challenge threat of all of them. She just won the right one.
ones challenges. I know people don't like it when you say ones
Ones.
because
Did I?
it's wrong. No, I said it.
Oh,
Ones.
ones. The ones.
Because one cannot be plural because it is one.
Oh yeah. Good point.
Anyway, little off the rails. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We're just yeah, it just felt like we ran out of episode stuff today to talk
Well,
about,
I
so we
just
just
remembered Ian, and every time I remember him, I feel I must profess my love for him and ask him to come back.
for sure, yeah. Um yeah, let's go ahead and get into MVPs.
Okay.
The obvious one is Michaela, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you could give it to anyone else. She
Um
literally
I would give it to
saved her
Chris.
tribe.
I would give it to Chris
Oh, that's a
for
good one. Yeah,
taking control
he did.
of he's like, "You know what? I'm going to take control of this now." And he did. So that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was nice to see something work out for him.
Yeah, no shit, right?
He's been, and last week it wasn't his fault, but he's just been on the wrong end of some votes. So good to see him take things back into his meaty hands.
Yes, Chris and Michaela MVPs.
For
And
sure.
so next week, what did the preview look like for next week?
It looked like a hot mess. I don't know what to make of it. Like Taylor and Figgy's relationship is going to be outed as if it wasn't already,
Yeah.
and I feel like they're only setting that up if one of them gets voted out. And again, I'm going to say Figgy's getting voted out. I have been wrong every week so far. Next week's the
Yeah.
week. I feel it.
You've been saying that every week, haven't you?
Yeah, yep, every week.
So you're just going to go with that one again?
Until it happens. That's what I kept doing with Abby, and she.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. Um I am going to go with maybe why do you think that green tribe is so strong?
Because
What
they have strong young players.
they have
No, because they have
Jay,
Michaela and Jay.
Will, Michaela, all probably pretty athletic people, I
Yeah, I
guess.
think though if they have less food, then it might start to wear on them.
Yeah. Um God, there's part of me that wants someone over there to yeah, part of me that wants them to lose so we can keep things kind of even, but
Yeah, they
so
could.
Figgy is a really good guess, I think. Man, who else?
I think Adam would push for Figgy because how he said he's like she's just constantly lying. I mean, Taylor's a much simpler creature, and you're going to be able to read where he's thinking. And he's going to be heartbroken after Figgy gets voted out. So obviously, Figgy's the first choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a wild prediction and say that it ends up being Jessica. Like Adam decides to stick with his
Oh,
millennials,
dead
and
to me.
he votes out Jessica.
He is dead to me.
I don't know. I just wanted to make a different prediction, and
Hipster.
that's going to be the tribe next week to lose.
Well, they showed how Jessica's promising Ken the legacy. They're not going to say that unless that comes to fruition at some point. She's
That's
not getting
true.
that legacy. Somebody else is.
That's
And it
true.
might be Ken.
Could be. But yeah, also you look at that Chris, Dave, Michelle, and who am I missing?
Yeah, Zeke.
Zeke. Yeah, Chris, Dave, Michelle, and Zeke. You look at that tribe. It's not the strongest tribe in the world. They could
I'd
easily
really
lose.
love to see Chris and Dave not go to tribal council. Like, just give them 1 week off, please.
Yeah, they've been all but one, right?
Yeah, just let them have one.
Yeah,
Come on.
hopefully. Yeah, let's hope for the best and say it's either Jessica or Figgy next week.
Okay.
Cool. Works for me. Anything else you
Works
want to
for me.
add?
No, I think we've explored a lot.
Yes, we have. Things that had nothing to do with this episode, but
Sure.
hey,
Well,
you gotta,
maybe related in some way? No, no, not
yeah,
related
you
at
gotta do
all.
that from time to time, you know?
True. That's true.
All right, well, that's it for tonight. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next week for episode 6. All right, have a good one.
Yep. See you later.